large number of Sumerian legends were once combined into the Akkadian epic of Gilgamesh, the Greeks mixed several Egyptian myths into the legend of Osiris, and finally, scattered Semitic myths were joined into the Bible. In the same way, modern historians agreed to conditionally consider the Book of the Dead a single work for convenience, although in fact we have versions both of the Old Kingdom and of the Ptolemaic era, a difference for a second of more than 2,000 years. From all this one can make such a conclusion. The Book of the Dead is not a book in the sense familiar to us, but rather a tradition or even a template for funerary texts. For each individual person, the book was compiled individually, based on the needs of his life experience, profession, and class. And here we have come to the question of the origin of the book, and it becomes very interesting. Usually, when talking about ancient Egypt, it is about its most studied periods, the Ptolemies or the New Kingdom. Indeed, the main copies belong to these periods. However, the key word here is main. The oldest copy of the Book of the Dead dates back to the Old Kingdom. It was found on the walls of the pyramid of Pharaoh Unas of the 5th dynasty, and that is about the 24th century BC, and that is already a full text, which means there are all reasons to believe that there were even earlier copies, simply not preserved to our days. Here, of course, one can say that this is not the Book of the Dead, but something like its ancestor, and technically you will be right, there really is a completely different idea of the afterlife, and the writing is intended specifically for the pharaoh and not for anyone else. In the text, the pharaoh is presented with instructions on how to get to heaven to other gods and become one of them. From this, they often conclude that the Book of the Dead then was exclusively a royal privilege. Although this is not certain, perhaps there were versions for other classes too, they just also did not reach us. One way or another,